Happy Memorial Day. That seems like a contradiction of terms, but it is a weekend of lots of different emotions. It symbolizes like the first weekend of summer. We're going to the lake. And it also symbolizes a time of reflection on people that have gone before us and the battles that they fought. So we have a couple of music selections here that kind of represent a couple of different emotional experiences. So the first one is called Doing It Together, and we do here as a community, right? So if you'd like to stand up and join us in singing, that would be awesome.
Anybody? All right, me too. I was chasing a mouse, but got nothing to do with what we're going to talk about. But happy Memorial Day, right? Wait a minute. Happy Memorial Day. Okay. A lot of people gave up a lot of stuff so we could be here doing this right now. All right? And, you know, they say some gave all, but, I mean, all gave some, but some gave all. And those are the ones that we're kind of thinking about today, the ones that didn't have an opportunity to fulfill what we've done, right, lived a full life. But there's a little bit more to it than just those guys who went and fought, because our full life really encompasses a whole lot more than those guys that gave it up. We need to remember the people who allowed us to be who we are. A lot of us are of a certain age. We're orphans. Our family, our parents have gone to the other side, right? So if we give them a little thought today, that's okay, right? It's a Memorial Day. What about all of our friends that are no longer here? How often do we get to think about them? Not a lot, probably. I mean, maybe we'll see a picture or an old friend will remember, oh, remember when Johnny was doing this and that. But if we take a minute today and just say, oh, that was great. You know, I had a chance to celebrate life with these other people that were in and out of my life. Again, I mentioned family, you know, our parents. Some of us has lost siblings. Let's bring them back for a minute. You know, all it takes is a thought. If you think about them, they're never really gone. We can't really be present with them, but we can be present with them, right? Good friends. You know, you think about the good friends that are no longer here. How do you keep them? Right here, right? Keep them in your heart, keep them in your head. I've been in many different bands, right? I'm not really that old, but I'm old. You know, but I've been in a lot of bands, and I counted them up this morning. There's 9 people that are no longer on the planet that I played music with in bands. I'm not talking about just casual music. So, you know, if we give them a minute, you know, they're still here with us. We've got our favorite uncle, right? That guy who always would come across with something, you know, tickets to a ball game or, you know, just candy or something like that. Favorite aunt, you know, they're all still here if we remember them, if we memorialize them. And it doesn't take us an altar or a statue or anything like that. It's just a little bit of being present that they were here. We also want to think a little bit about what we're seeing right now in our own lives. Life comes and goes so fast that we don't notice the moments that are happening right now. Look around. Is everybody going to be here next year? Yes. I don't know. Will I? I don't know. There is a song I'm going to do. It's called Tears in Heaven. And I was doing a little bit of research on it. And does anybody know the history of the song, Tears in Heaven? Okay, Eric Clapton wrote the song because he lost his son in a tragic accident. And he needed to express his grief somehow. And so he wrote this song. There is a line in the song called, "Yeah, and you know I don't belong in heaven." And what that means is I'm not ready to be there yet. It's not like I'm a bad person and I'm going someplace else. It's just that I'm here now. I don't belong because my journey is going on. There's going to be a lot of good things that I can do, some happy things that are going to happen to me, and some other things that are going to happen to me that are probably not going to be so happy. But the whole idea is remembering what we had, remembering, and that's kind of strange because remembering what we got is kind of an oxymoron. How can you remember what's happening right now? Well, tomorrow you will, or you should, right? So let's go on a little journey here and see if we can remember something. don't belong, not yet, here in heaven. Thank you.
Good morning. That song truly is a reminder, just like Memorial Day is, of the temporary nature of life, that we are here temporarily. And what a blessing it is that we get to be alive on this day, and that we stand in the place and on the shoulders of those who came before us. I'd like us just to take a moment of silence, just to feel that, feel the reverence of life, the gratitude. Just breathe it in. Thank you. It's funny because even though it isn't silence, there's a part of us that is silent, that stillness inside of us, that sacred space. And that's really why we're here today at Unity, is to share together in that sacred space. I'm going to invite Geraldine up to light our candle. Thank you. This is really a sacred flame. Anytime we light a candle with the intention of it being sacred and holy, it is. Whether that's in a church, whether that's in your home, at a dinner table with your family, or even in the bathroom, it can be a sacred space, an opportunity to remember that light inside. Here at Unity, we're guided by 5 principles. One is that there are one presence and one power in the universe, God the Good. Our second principle is our divine nature, that the presence of God and the Spirit of God is within every person. It's within you and it's within me. Our third principle is the power of our thought, that our reality is created by our thoughts, our words, and our actions, and that we do our best to speak kinder words, to think better thoughts, and to take more loving action. Our fourth principle is the power of prayer and meditation, that we can use prayer and meditation to expand our awareness and our connection to the Spirit of God. And our fifth principle is living the truth, that it's not enough to just know these principles in our mind, but to actually embody them in our hearts and the way that we show up for each other in community. And Memorial Day is a time to remember all of those in our community who stood up and served and sacrificed for our sovereignty. If you'll join me now in an opening prayer. Divine Spirit, with so much gratitude, we give to this life, that we get to be here in this moment, right here, right now, in this room, to commune together, to grow together, to grieve, to feel joy, and all the complexities of a human life, the human emotions, the human thoughts. that we get to gather and experience those all together. Life is such a gift, even in its hardships, even in the times of great sacrifice and difficulty. It is still a gift that we get to breathe the air. We get to live in this beautiful garden planet. And we get to love one another. So thank you, God. Thank you for the opportunity, for the spark of life, for the oneness of all. We are grateful. And so it is. Amen. Today, Susie Hicks is going to share the daily word with you.
Good morning, everybody. Morning. I'm excited to be here on this beautiful day and to be able to tell you about what's in the daily word. And for many of us are familiar with the daily word, but for those who are not, the daily word is published by Unity. It began at Unity in 1924. So it is now over 100 years old, and it has been published continuously throughout that whole time. So I'm excited to be reading this. And one of the things that I did was I opened it up to see what came first. And actually, I'm going through schooling right now, and we're talking about forgiveness. We're working on our forgiveness stuff. And I thought, well, I'll talk about forgiveness. Well, then I thought, well, no, let's go ahead and see what comes up in the daily word. Guess what came up in the daily word? So I'm going to be talking about forgiveness. So I forgive and I am forgiven. The greatest gift I can give myself is forgiveness, because I understand as long as I am holding on to unforgiving thoughts, I'm in a prison of my own making. I free myself from my burdens and choose to see the Christ in myself and all others. I'm willing to release the heaviness in my heart. I pray for strength to move beyond the pain and hurt I have been carrying. As I let go of resentments and grievances that weigh me down, I make room for peace. With an open heart, I extend forgiveness. I'm open to the healing power of forgiveness and willing to forgive myself for my past moments and mistakes. Releasing guilt, shame, and regret through the power of the Christ within me. It frees me and clears my mind as it heals my heart. And from Psalms 86:5, for you, O Lord, are good and forgiving, abounding in steadfast love to all who call on you.
Thank you, Susie. And I'm going to invite Tammy Savage up to introduce our guest speaker for today.
Welcome to Memorial Weekend. It's the perfect weekend to have my good friend Todd Neel speak to us. He is an all-around wonderful guy, and he's my ski partner. And several times when we're going up on the lift, right, he'll go, Tammy, let's do this run. And I'll go, Todd, you know, that's a black diamond with a lot of moguls. And he looks at me and he goes, you got this, Tammy? And I think to myself, well, you know, I'm going down with the ski patrolman. If it gets bad, he's got my back, right? So Todd, we got your back today, okay? He's been exploring his family roots and become quite the expert in finding families' genealogy, even traveling to Ireland to meet some of his relatives. But more meaningful than that, he's great at uncovering those wonderful family stories and secrets that should transcend generations. He's written a book up here called Family Hunger, Breathe Life into Your Family History. He has a few copies that'll be available after the service. Not only is he a good storyteller, but he's a wonderful poet. Please give a warm round of encouragement to my friend, Todd Neel.
Thank you. I can open with a joke or a prayer. Is Scott here today? I miss Scott and his jokes. Is he doing his medical thing yet? I don't know. How many dogs does it take to change a light bulb? We had a golden retriever, so I'm going to pick. There's a whole bunch of choices of breeds of dogs. I picked golden retriever. The golden retriever's answer is the sun is shining, the day is young, we have our whole lives ahead of us. And you're inside worrying about a stupid burned out light bulb? There's also a cat answer. We used to have cats, short-term and long-term cats. The cat's answer, dogs do not change light bulbs. People change light bulbs. So the real question is, how long will it be before I can expect some light, some dinner, and a massage? Which proves once again that dogs have masters and cats have staff. That's to Scott. So, I guess I have the clicker. This is cool. Look, I got the pointer too, not in your eyes. Where's the cat? So, about unity, and I click. And Unity Center of Spiritual Growth was formerly been known as Unity Church of North Idaho and many other names. And if you've been around a while, sometimes you have to look at the sign out front and see if they changed it again on you. We have our own identity, and we evolve and transform, change over time. Our names change, our leadership changes, our membership changes, but there are some constants. We're positive, practical, progressive approach, like Amber was reading about, based on the teachings of Jesus and the power of prayer. We strive to honor all churches. We use lessons from other churches, including Jewish, Hindu, Buddhist, Muslim, Sufi, Native American, and others as well. We used to have this Wings of Song songbook under all the chairs. And I really liked one. There's Blessings for a Church. I'm not going to take the time to read that. And our mission, our vision, our core beliefs, our core values. And one of the core values that really got my attention was we respect the many paths that lead to God. So from there, I will go to another thing after a minute about from there. Now I'm going to go click, click. We've had many past leaders in the church. From Amber, I could read them all. From Amber to Dennis Ackley to Steve Tolles to Gaya Swinford to Michael Moran. I don't think I can read them all. Deidre, John Considine, Deidre Ashmore, John Barry Bernard, Marilyn Muehlbach. Now we're going back before my time here. I was here since Maryland. Chuck, and some of these I got from Virginia. Some of these names I got from Steve, Chuck Hancock, Julie Keene, Alice Dirksen, Hazel Rowell, and Bernie Hibbard. You got it right. Bernie Hibbard, or it was in Roberta Hibbard. Meetings were in her home before they started meeting at the Little Red Church. Is that correct? Maybe? Before they started meeting at the Little Red Church, they were in her home. Yes, okay, all right. So we've had many other leaders, anything from music leaders to musicians to teachers to youth education staff to office staff to technical staff to ground staff, and I'm probably leaving people out. Board members. I'm just going to say thank you. We wouldn't be here without you. We're standing on your shoulders. Hopefully, I don't leave any bruises on you. Click, click. Oh, Steve Tolles confirmed many of these names. He said he believes the church, Unity Church of North Idaho, Unity Church in Coeur d'Alene, was started in 1981. He says we have to go to the charter to confirm that. Anybody else know, who might know? 1981, the start of Unity Church in Coeur d'Alene. He's supposed to be here later in June, Steve Tolles, maybe on June 22nd if things work out. He's under treatment for a medical condition right now. It's if you want to go into details, you can go into Facebook and find out about his medical condition. I've talked to him on the phone, and he says he goes on the table for treatment, and he says, the light of God radiates from me. So hopefully, he'll be here to tell his own story. Community, the community of unity, this is a community, is like family to me. Here and now, as we look around, as we can look left and we look right, we look in front of us, we look behind us, there's here and now and also community and family over time. Time, the fourth dimension. I had to confirm with my friend, the nuclear scientist Jim Sullenberger, that time is the fourth dimension. If you need to consult with a nuclear scientist, he's writing back. No? I got it wrong? Shaking his head. Shut up, Todd, and move on. Unity Church has lineage. Unity Village is in Missouri. If you ever get a chance to go there, it's quite a cool place. Goes back to the Church of Truth, Myrtle and Charles Fillmore. There's a lot of history that our church has, and then the Church of Truth and Christianity and the Jewish faith and all of these other faiths. Thank you. Memorial Day, it's a federal holiday honoring and mourning the U.S. military personnel who died while serving in the United States Armed Forces. So if any of you who had a family member who've served and who died in the armed forces while serving, if you're willing to stand. Thank you. Stay standing. Stay standing. Any of you who have served in the military and are here today, keep standing. Who have served. Thank you for your service. We will not forget. For any of you who have had a family member who served or were wounded in body, heart, or spirit in the military, please stand. Well, that's a little bit open. Great. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Happy Memorial Day. I was also asking it sort of a joke, but what about boot camp? Is it possible? You may have been wounded in body, mind, or spirit in boot camp. You survived boot camp. You still have PTSD. Yeah, thank you for your service. My family has military heritage. My maternal grandfather, Alan Pitt Johnson, he was in the U.S. Army. He served in both World War I and World War II. We've been searching to figure out what he did in the Army. We haven't been able to figure that out yet. His marker is in the cemetery in Spokane. And so probably tomorrow I'll go there and put flowers on his marker along with my grandmother, maternal grandmother. Is that down and out of the way? These are my maternal grandparents. Whoa, sorry, Grandpa. Alan Pitt Johnson. He died in 1956. I was born in 1955. I don't have proof that we met. I don't have any pictures. I don't have any stories. I've got nobody left to confirm. I hope we met. So, thank you, Grandpa. And supportive family. I mean, the soldiers and sailors, Marines, needed the support of their families and communities as well. So thank you, Grandma. Thank you, Grandpa. This is my mom. She was in the Navy. She met my dad in the Navy. She was his secretary. I don't think they were supposed to do that. This is my dad, Captain John William Neel. He went to Annapolis. He retired as a captain in the Navy. He was at the bombing of Pearl Harbor. I'm grateful he was my dad. I'm grateful he was home mowing the lawn that Sunday morning. His story was that he was watching those funny-looking planes fly overhead on the way to bomb his ship. That is his ship, the USS Shaw, a destroyer. If he was there, probably I wouldn't be here. I found the address that I think he lived at in the lawn he was mowing. I haven't been there and knocked on the door yet. My dad's last tour of duty, he was in Supply Corps because his eyes got bad, so he couldn't serve on a ship anymore. So Supply Corps, down New York City, he was on public transportation, 90 minutes to work from upper state New Jersey where we lived, and a day in the office and 90 minutes home every day for 3 years. So thank you, Dad. Your hat doesn't fit me, and I'm sorry I haven't taken care of it very well. This is his captain's hat. It doesn't fit me very well either. With honor, that's my dad's hats. My dad doesn't have a marker. He, at one time, says, flush my ashes down the toilet. No, Dad. We scattered his ashes above his home in Montana. Some years before my mom died, we scattered my mom's ashes. The government came, there was a forest fire. They ran their bulldozers over where my mom's ashes were scattered. As best as we could tell, when we scattered my dad's ashes, we gathered some soil up from my mom's area after we scattered my dad. Had some left, took them to the top of the mountain and scattered them in the 4 directions at the top of the cliff. If you know where Petty Creek is near Alberton, Montana, the top of the cliff, my parents were scattered up there in the 4 directions. Anything else on this one? And other family members were in the military. I'm still doing research. Another thing about Memorial Day causes me to pause it. It's not just about those who've done military service and their supportive families and communities, but other people who have passed away, who were in our bands, who are our aunts and uncles, cousins, siblings, neighbors, those who are not physically with us anymore, who are above the turf. Not above the turf anymore. And I have somewhere I counted later in my poem, I think I'll say the count. 300 years before me, I have a count of how many parents and grandparents it took for me to be here today. Just the lineage that got me here. It's a surprising number. I'm sorry it's not on this slide. But I do have 5,687 people in my tree. And now, many times we just go through life and we're an individual and we see an individual and we talk to the individual and then we move on to the next individual. But I have training and I had, a career working as a social worker, as a family therapist, and I see families and I see connections, I see relationships, I see strings of light between people. And maybe you think that's a little weird. Maybe you think medicine. But, if you change your lens, if you take your lenses off, things look different. If you stand up here, it looks different than down there. If we put our sunglasses on, things look different. And up here, sunglasses are not a bad idea, just to make a point. So when I see a person, I see more than just an individual. I see their kids, their parents, etc., their spouses and ex-spouses. So sometimes another person's point of view is hard. It's hard to put ourselves in another person's position, in their shoes. Sometimes if relationship can work. Sometimes it's a really good idea to try to put yourself in the other person's shoes, as I point to my wife, and imagine or hear what it's like to be the person on the other side. Now, I've got about an hour, right, for this talk, Amber? About 20 or 30 minutes for this talk, for the time that we're here. I was making a joke, I say, for you. If you can, suspend your own point of view and put yourself in my point of view, that we have offspring, even if we don't have children or grandchildren. I do have 2 sons, aged 31 and 32, right? We don't have any grandchildren yet. We may or may not get grandchildren. But we have offspring of our thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. And sometimes you can measure those things. Sometimes it's nothing more than a smile and a hello, and a listen to somebody, and a tell a joke, and a hear a joke, and to pretend to laugh. Or sometimes we may make something that we can touch. This is a book I've self-published, Family Hunger, Breathe Life into Your Family History. I've got 3 new copies in their wrappers right here. There was another time I talked up here, and afterwards there was a comment I was on the board at that time. There was a comment. It's like, well, if I knew I was going to have a board member try to sell me their book. Okay. Well, I'm not trying to sell you my book, but I'm saying my book is here if you would like it as a possible way that you might be able to record your own story, write your own book. We are all books, or we are all chapters in the book of life. And it's about 6 by 9 inches, about 1.5 inches thick. There's about 350 pages. And you won't get anything out of it unless you open it. Or go to the library, check it out. You don't have to buy it. Or listen to me, because I'm going to share some things from it. And I'm planting seeds, offspring, some scattering seeds. I think Julie said something about scattering seeds today. There's another reading I might do later. I'm working on my second book. It's called Chasing Headstones, How to Transition into Retirement and into the Ground, or How to Avoid Both. So I'm working on that second book. I've got, maybe if we get time in the meditation, I'll read a poem from that book. What I most like to hear is that you've written your book, or you've started your book, or you've gone to your closet and gotten out photographs and wrote on the back names that you had been meaning to, or the dates and times and places, and I'd do the best I could to at least act like I'm interested. I really am interested. Yeah. your stories too. Sometimes it's too much information. Virginia was no. Yes. Bernie's mother-in-law's something. Virginia tried to tell me something. It was just over the top, too much information. I needed to start drawing a family tree, and it was like, too much. Maybe you don't even remember. That's fine. Okay, I'm going to move on now. We have offspring. I'm going to skip over some of these slides too quick. You're welcome for, I've already deleted or hidden some slides. Brian gave me feedback that I got a little bit too much content. But mostly what I want to get to is we have all kinds of family. We have birth family, we have legal family, and we have chosen family. Birth family can be proven by DNA. Legal family, we may have a written contract, like with my wife, or my in-laws, did you see? Parents. So I don't have a legal contract with my in-laws, but through my marriage with my wife, I have relationships. Or chosen family. And I have many chosen family. I am in, this is a dangerous thing to hold on to. Oh, was that me? You're my chosen family. I see you here most every week. I've done things with you like put up sheetrock and mud on the sheetrock and painted, or mowed the lawn, or whacked weeds, or talked about whacking weeds, worked on the garden, drove children to camp, watched them grow up, watched them come in the back door and say, who is that monster of a person? We've been attending this church a long time. So Unity Church is a family, a chosen family for me. I have many other circles of friends. They are chosen family. And sometimes chosen family can be longer lasting, deeper, more intimate, and more safe than our legal family or our birth family. And sometimes those people can be our chosen family and legal family. All right. Click, click, click. I went to Alaska last fall. I found this rock beside the river, caught my attention. I took a picture to the path less traveled. I liked it, so I'm just throwing some slides in, some pictures. But there's a framework I learned when I went to graduate school for social work. What, so what, now what? So when I'm talking about what am I talking about, what is he talking about, what is lineage, what is genealogy about? And sometimes without a connection, we may feel alienated. We may feel a lack of purpose. We may feel frustration. We may feel hopelessness. We may feel a lack of belonging. And I know that sometimes when there are some circles I haven't been to for a while and I come back, I feel a little bit out of place. And if I come more regularly, I feel more in place. So regular attendance helps me with that need I have. So what does it mean? You know, sometimes we may, what does it matter whether we're connected with our lineage or not, or connected with other human beings or not? But we may even have physical symptoms if we're alone and alienated enough. We may not have a lack of purpose. In relationships and family and community, I find purpose. Now what? Now what are we going to do about it? Is there a remedy? Yes. Say hello, turn around, say hello when you leave. What are you doing next week? What are you doing tomorrow? Not only here and now, but across town, across the world, across time, and across the universe. And what can we do about it? We notice, we honor, we respect. Maybe we record our own story, the story of other people, researching our ancestors, and be conscious about leaving nuggets behind for our descendants, not only our birth descendants, but people that we may have an impact on. You know, leave good compost behind. That was a joke. All right, connection here now over time. One of my readings from Family Hunger I took a trip to Nebraska, small town Nebraska, Holbrook, Nebraska, where my father was born. I think there were 5 children in his family. My grandpa I never met. My grandma, I did remember that grandmother, Stella McCool Neel, sweet little woman, chocolate chip cookies, all kinds of sweet things. But I'm standing there, I forget what year, so I wrote this little bit in this book, Family Hunger. Life, essential, and spacing. Okay, I'm in the middle of the plains of Nebraska. Corn, wind blowing, flat. I had never met any of these people buried here. For one of them, my grandfather, it was essential for him to have lived and passed on his genetics for me to have a heartbeat. For another of them, Beth, it was essential for her to have died and to get out of the way for me to be standing here. She was a placekeeper. She was my dad's first wife. If she hadn't kept my dad available and then died at the right time, my dad wouldn't have met my mom and gotten married and given birth to 3 children, including me, and raised the 4th adopted child, vital to my development and identity. Beth was part of the lessons about family for my dad. For my Uncle Floyd, who had a marker there, he died at about 15 years of age. It wasn't essential for him to have lived for me to be standing here, but his life story certainly added color to our family tree. I think the school janitor threw a basketball at him, hit him in the stomach. Small town, doctor was in the next town. Internal bleeding, they didn't know what it was. He died before the next morning. And the janitor who threw the basketball was a Strickland, and Stricklands later married Neels, and so these families that had these things going back and forth. Some of the Strickland markers were there in that cemetery as well. Standing in front of these grave markers, I feel Mary's going to have a little sigh. Man up, quit crying.
Man up and cry.
Okay. Like she said, I feel like I'm stepping into a time machine, providing a real spiritual and physical connection. I imagine strings of light following our paths through the histories of our lives, back down the highway I came from today, coming full circle to our conception and births, through all the complicated relationships and stories, back to this moment to be standing here now at my grandfather's grave. Is there any genetic material in the ground that would prove we're related? I have no doubts. I kneel down. And touch each of the Neel headstones. That's my name. I say, "Hi, Grandpa," and feel sad, not remembering any direct experience with any grandfathers of mine, but I still feel a loss. Spacing. Have you ever heard of the space-time continuum from Albert Einstein and others? Have you ever been on a narrow highway, driving the exact speed limit in the right-hand lane, and you're approaching another driver going the same direction, who is driving 1 or 2 miles per hour under the speed limit, and you can't get around them, and you want to yell, "Hey, you're in my space-time continuum. Get out of the way." Or have you experienced this one? "Hey, when are you going to get out of the bathroom? You're in my space-time continuum." Some of my relatives that I shared DNA with had to be in each other's space-time continuum and have relationships with perfect timing for the miracle of biology to happen if I was going to be standing here now. Now that's something to ponder. Social psychologists call this proximity. For there to be a relationship, people have to be in close proximity to each other, in each other's space-time continuum, at the same crossroads at the same time, plus a few other details for the miracle of life. I was going to make some jokes about it. Is there any biology happening here today? Going to move on. Where's that clicker? Now what? What are you going to do with what you heard today? I'm missing something? I don't think so. I got it. Am I missing something? Ah, that's so clever, Brian. I'm going to play cemetery, go to the cemetery and place flowers at my parents' and great-grandparents' markers in Spokane tomorrow. One year I went, I got there at the right time. There was a veterans breakfast, and then there was a veterans march. And the oval, I don't know if you know those cemeteries, it's a military oval. And there was a military parade around me at my grandparents' headstone marker. It was really something. And I'm going to work on my genogram and look at why FamilySearch.org says I'm related to Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And I'll update my tree on Ancestry.com before my subscription runs out. What are you going to do? So the summary of my key points is remember, honor and respect, and leave behind good compost. And after something from Julie, then I'm going to do a closing prayer. Yes, I am. Because, come on. The Lord's Prayer. So we honor Mother Pass. This is a variation of the traditional Christian Lord's Prayer. This is a translation of the Aramaic version of the Lord's Prayer, translated by Moshe Samuel Lewis from the Dances of Universal Peace tradition. It's on a Mark Stanton Welch CD called Riding the Sound Current. Check the copyright thing. How'd I do? O thou, instead of our Father who art in heaven, O thou, from whom comes the breath of life, which is present in all realms of vibration and light. Let thy light and sound be experienced in my own holy of holies. Let the I can of the cosmos come to pass through us. Let your desire be, as in the all that vibrates, so also in the most dense and material. Give us understanding and support for our needs from day to day. Loose the cords of mistakes, binding us as we release the strands we hold of others' faults. Do not let surface things delude us, but free us from what holds us back from our true purpose. For to you, in you, belongs the ruling ideas and principles, the life force to accomplish them, and the song that adds glory to all. From each gathering to the next, I affirm this with my whole being. Okay. Now, Julie.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you so much. So as we prepare now for meditation time, let's sing together, There Is Only Love. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see love that sets me free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, then I go inside and quiet my mind, and I hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love.
A walk in the desert. I invite you to take a deep breath in. I'm camping out by Sedona, Arizona. As I step outside, I draw in a deep gulp of fresh desert. Cool, dry air, deep into my lungs, deep into my soul. O thou from whom comes the breath of life, thank you, thank you, thank you. Good morning, I shout as I greet the new day. Too early to say, hello, sunshine. There are still a few stars left over. Back into my still warm bed. I didn't quite leap out the first time, but after the heater warmed the camper, After my retreat, I leave the cocoon of my sleeping bag and I sip my first cup of hot coffee. Then I do rush off into the morning at old man speed. I take in the novel flora of juniper, creosote, cactus, and other unknown vegetation. And smells are freshly new in my nose and lungs. A step, a thought, another step, a phrase, another step, pause. Now, go slow. The more familiar fauna, birds, coyote, cows, are they watching me, smelling me, listening to me? It's so quiet. Is there an audience unseen, like for this poem? It's still before sunrise as I walk up the wash. What powerful forces made this back and forth path? I am grateful for these bones in these legs, these straight legs, and these achy, knobby knees, lifting me up this wobbly path. Another step, a word. Another step, a phrase. Another step, pause. Now go slower. I am walking on the bones of my grandfathers and my grandmothers and even those other relatives unknown. I practice naming them. John William, William Frank, John Robinson, Hiram Stivers, Samuel, John, immigrant from Scotland, all with my same last name. These magical bones over these rounded stones, who will outlast the other? Hey, stones, do you remember your ancestors? I do. I'm so grateful for all of my ancestors. 5,687 in my tree at Last County. Many non-essential, but colorful. Gratitude as I listen to the heartbeat in my ears. For 10 generations of parents and grandparents and more. 2,046 parents and grandparents over the last 300 years. Vital and essential for me to be here. An eternal gratitude for all my descendants, both of you. I'm sorry if it ever seems I take you for granted. Thank you, boys. Now get to work. The nose, the lungs, the legs, and other parts. Twisted DNA like this twisted path. Step. Silence. Step. Silence. Silence. These bones are just borrowed for a short time. Another step, another thought, silence, empty, empty, empty. Remember, remember. Remember. Vital ancestors, vital breath, vital heartbeat. Absolutely vital for me to be.
of rain. I remember knowing spring will come again. And when I sing, I remember all the wonder I have seen. Waters reaching the horizon, waves that carry you and me. I remember this, my friend. I remember golden summers when corn is high. I remember branches reaching to the sky. And when I sing, I remember all the harvests of the field, fruits of love that lie in waiting, all the bounty now revealed. I remember this, my friend. In my soul there's a breeze through a wide meadow. The sun shines so bright in my eyes. In my soul there's a divine pool of water, knowing that you're by my side, knowing that you're by my side again. I remember all the loved ones I have known. I remember all they've taught me, how I've grown. When I sing, I remember many nights that share my song, brought together in a moment, finding somewhere to belong. And I remember you, my friend. I remember you, my
Thank you, Todd. Thank you for that. I really appreciate your message on how you delivered it with your kind and open heart, and the expressions of love and the importance of remembering our family and our connections. So thank you. It is love offering time. If you are able to share of your financial blessings, we do appreciate it. If you will all join me in affirming our divine love statement together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I receive. And so it is.
Please join us in singing. You are love, I see Christ in you. I see light pouring forth from you. I bless everything that you are. You are love, I see Christ in you. I see light pouring forth from you. I bless everything that you are. You are love, I see Christ in you. I see light pouring forth from you. I bless everything that you are. Let's sing it one more time. You are love, I see Christ in you. I see light pouring forth from you. I bless everything that you are.
And I invite Donna Mills up to give our blessing today.
Thank you. Good morning. I almost kicked off my shoes because I feel really ungrounded today. So they might come off. Excuse me. I'm a note taker. I sit and I take notes. And things come to me. And it's a new day. We haven't lived this day today. So we might do a new prayer today in a new way. And it is unity, right? And prayer is one of our things. And I'd like to tie together Todd's message today with this light here and a little bit of metaphysical study that I'm doing for this beautiful love blessing, because all of this came from our pockets, and right beside our pockets is 144 trillion cells inside the bounds of our clothing, and they're all full of this light. 144 trillion cells are batteries inside of our body, right? And so sometimes, like my phone has 12% on it right now, sometimes my cells have 12% on it. And then I just remember everybody I'm connected to. I grew up not knowing my father. And recently I went through my genealogy. I had no intent, but it just fell in my lap. And my lineage goes back to Joseph of Arimathea. And I think that many of us must go back that far to that lineage, right? So all the light that's in my 144 trillion cells are part of your light in your 144 trillion cells. And we bring those together. What I read when you were looking for a ministry is somebody with prosperity mindedness, and I don't know how much more prosperity I can find than in 144 trillion cells multiplied by each one of us. That's our love offering. That is our love offering. Amen. That's right.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Audrey Seymour, the celebration assistant for today. And if we have anybody here for the first time, welcome. We're glad you're here and hope you have a great time. If you're willing to raise your hand, our greeters have a welcome packet for you. We have in the back over there. Over there? Okay. Okay, great. And if you're here for the first time online, you can let us know that you're here by clicking on the Connect with Us link in the Synopsis tab of the website streaming window. So you can give your contact information, request for information, a prayer request, anything like that in the Connect with Us link in the Synopsis tab of the website streaming window. So let me introduce our musicians for today. Julie Croteau, Debbie Raby, Jim Turner, and Leanne Erlin Moore. And we want to thank everyone who helps make this Sunday service happen and takes care of the building and grounds, because it takes a lot of volunteers to run a church. So you're very much appreciated. Thank you. And today we especially want to honor the board members. Would board members please stand? Do we have any board members here? Great. So at Unity, we believe in the power of prayer. So if you'd like to make a prayer request for yourself, for someone else, for a situation in the world, there's forms out in the hall and a vessel to put your prayer. And then we'll pray over it for a week, and then we'll send it to Silent Unity, where we'll pray over it for a whole month. So a lot of prayer power there. We also have prayer chaplains here today who will pray with you after service. So would prayer chaplains please stand? And Maribel? Excellent. So there'll be one in the nursery and one in the meditation room. Did I get that right? Okay. So you may have seen the announcements of upcoming activities on screen before the service, but if not, no worries. It's in your bulletin and on our website, unitycenter.org. So you're welcome to join us and get involved. It's a great way to meet some of the wonderful people in this community. And let me highlight a few of the announcements. If you play a stringed instrument, you're invited to join Jim Turner and Thomas Orgula for an acoustic jam session on Thursday, May 29th at 6:30 p.m. Then, join Reverend Connor Keyes and Laura Gage on Fridays at 5:30 p.m. for Life in the Heart. It's a weekly gathering for challenging the stories that define us and having conversations that remind us of who we are. The guest speaker on Sunday, June 1st is Reverend Connor Keyes. He'll present a message about remembering the innate knowledge you were born with. And then experience tranquility with Reverend Amber Bourne and friends on Sunday the 1st after the potluck for a good vibration sound bath. Let the resonant tones of crystal bowls guide you into a meditative state, enveloping you in a harmonious flow of soothing, immersive sound waves. Sounds wonderful. Sunday, June 8th, after the service, we'll have our spring cleanup to spruce up our outdoor space. So come dressed for yard work, and lunch will be provided. So any questions about that, just check with Amber. Our community garden is open for reservations. To sign up, stop by Geraldine's office or talk to Roy Ely. Is Roy here today? Okay, she's not. Okay. The gathering of the water ceremony celebrates the deep connection we all share through water. This ritual invites you to bring water samples from all the bodies of water that you've encountered through the spring and summer. As you explore, keep a small vial handy to collect samples. And it's time for the kids.
We're actually going to just go ahead and stand and sing our peace song.
Peace
prayer of protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Amen. Potluck next Sunday. Thank you for being here.